to the channel. Today I am back in my yellow SLK 230 compressor, which I've had for a very long time. I actually bought this first week in March. It's now the beginning of July. Obviously we did a part one, this is the part two. We're going to start fixing things. Been that long, I can't remember exactly everything we found. I did make a list, obviously. I've started ordering a few parts for it. Well, I actually ordered the parts a while ago, so I've had them for ages. We're going in the Shed of Doom. Some of the frequent viewers will know off my monthly vlog that we've had a bit of a change around in the garage. We've had a bit of work done, and we've changed the Shed of Doom into, it used to be like a storage long-term job bay, but we need it as an extra working bay now. Nathan is in here full-time. He's got all his toolbox set up, everything ready to go, so we can work in here more efficiently. But the problem is, I normally store my cars in here, are now taking up valuable car parking space. We've gained something and lost something. The famous yellow SLK. Let's get her on the ramp, see what's going on. So first problem, well, the very first problem was we had a burst brake pipe, but that got sorted straight away so we could give the car a little drive around the yard to see. Look at that sun straight in my face. From a new Windows. The next thing to do to get it more roadworthy is this spring. If you have a look in here, you can see where the spring is broke right at the top there. So that the top two coils are resting on the rest of the spring. So we need to compress that the bottom half of the broken spring, try and get that top half out and make it safe. We needed front discs and pads. Well, look at that there. Just flaking off. They have had their day. Let's get it MOT worthy. How's that?
It might be best asking this guy as well when he last had a brake fluid change as well, to be fair.
He tested it. You might as well just test it while it's there.
Right, let's get on with it. I said I was going to get this car in. I said I was going to spend all afternoon on this car, so that's from 1 o'clock onwards. I've only just managed to get it in. It's 4:10. Typical. You've got the spring compressor, and then you've got the two plates. So straight away, you put the bottom plate in, and then we'll put another plate in, and then that slides through the bottom of the wishbone through to your top plate. Then it just slots onto that notch there, so it goes through that one, onto that one, and then we can wind it up to where we're going to compress to, which is right up to the brake. And we wind the bottom up, and that's how we compress the spring. Look at Nathan's toolkit in there. 19.
And then, do you want a bigger one? Do you
Yeah.
want a nice?
Don't fob me off with your cheap ratchets. Let me have the nice stuff. Oh, that looks a nice one. We've not got much to compress here because of how it's broke, so I hope I can compress it enough. That's all I can compress it. Because of how it's broke, I've lost a couple of coils off the top of the spring, so the compressor's bottomed out already and it's not loose enough. That's not ideal, but what do I do? Right, we've had to resort to plan B. So the spring compressor I should use is bottoming out too early, so the spring isn't compressing enough to get it out, because I can't compress the whole spring because the top third has broken, so I can't clamp the broken bit. I've got loads of spring compressors, but these are the two that can be used for this job. So this is the same principle but a shorter version. So I'm hoping I can get more compression with this shorter one than I can on the official one I should use. So I can just compress what's left of a spring and get it out. Okay. That's compressed it enough that I can get it out. Tension is on that. Nathan doesn't like springs. They're not dodgy, I mean, these are all the correct tools.
Now, Ben, just to caution you, this is when the whole thing may fall out, okay? In a bigger...
Not as bad as the 107 Red SL we did, which we thought we had the correct tools, but we didn't. As you can see here, that's 2 of the spring compressors I've got. They're the only 2 that will go through a wishbone. I have 3 different ones for McPherson struts, so we have got 3,000–4,000 pounds worth of spring compressors. So let's see if we can squeeze that out of there. That's it. So now you can see 1 broken spring and 2.5 coils. So should that have been attached, obviously I would have compressed it right at the top here. Anyway, that little stubby compressor's done us a solid there, yeah. Put the bomb down.
Bomb has been planted. Take it away from my box, please.
Let's get it undone.
I've seen the video the guy uses zip ties.
Zip ties?
Yeah, and he cuts them one at a time.
No, that's ridiculous. Right, 1 spring, genuine spring. I'd always recommend going genuine if you can. The reason being, they have colour codes on them. This is 1 red, and that is specific to the specification and weight of this car. Whereas I find a lot of aftermarket springs just kind of do 1 spring fits all. I think that was £85 plus VAT, call it 100 quid. Next thing we've got to do is put the bump stop on the top, so that sits on top. We're going to have to get our original spring compressor back out, because you can see the length of that spring, it's not going to cut it in with that smaller one. You can see the difference now in how much it's broken. Right, see if she goes back in. WD-40. So that's not gonna quite go in there. Right, I need a big pry bar so we can push the wishbone down to create us a bigger gap to get the spring back in. If it still won't fit, I'm gonna have to take the spring back out, uncompress it, move the position of the clamps and do it all again. If that spring hadn't broke how it had, say if it was just the bottom tail, I'd have a reference to go off of where to put it back. Anyway, I don't want to hold this spring in my hands any more than I need to, so big pry bar please. So Nathan's just given us a hand. He's just pushed the wishbone down, which has given us an extra inch, and that's just gone straight in. As you can see, it's nice and loose in there. So now we can get that undone. From memory, the opposite side had broke worse than this side. So now this is the easy bit, just unwind it. So as you can see, as I'm unwinding it, you'll see how much the hub and the wishbone gets pushed down. So what I should have done really was, well, what I'll do on the next side, is I'll just put a block of wood in between the wishbone and the body of the car to just hold that wishbone down for me so we don't miss any footage. Apologies about the wind, it's blowing the shutter door. Normal touch.
No, leave it down and then press that one.
Nathan has to show me how to use his tools. So that's 1 spring done, as you can see, all in. Get the wheel off the other side, let's have a look at that. I have a feeling that side had broken in an even worse way, so we'll get this wheel off. Well, saying it, probably have a look in there. Oh yeah. Right, let's get the wheel off. It's now 10 to 5 and only 1 spring done. So, beep, beep. That has not failed in a good place at all. That's going to be different. Might be able to just get the small one in there and there. I should have just tried to pry the whole thing out. Not trying to pry it out. I'm wondering if I can pry out the broken coil and then leave the remaining spring in so I can safely compress it. Again, we're going to have to use the short compressor and just try and compress what we can, because that is not ideal. Right, so we're all set up with the stubby compressor again, but you can see what I've had to do here. I've had to put that bottom cup right up against the breakage because I can't compress the broken bit, and hopefully that will just be enough to get our piece out. Maybe have to compress it again, I'm not sure. That's as much as I can compress that. Maybe now I might be able to get the bottom bit out. Tension's off, well, as off it as much as I can. The problem we've got here, where it's broke, I've basically now got two springs pressing against each other. That is wedged in there. If I could twist the spring with the tool on to like wind it off it, take the bottom piece out maybe. There we go. There's hardly any tension on that. It's just that it's wedged. There we go. So that looked worse than it was. It's all come out together. So what I did was sprayed some WD-40 on that link where it was trapped, and I've managed to slip it out and get it out. You get lots of comments on any automotive video when you're doing springs of how you've done it wrong or not safe, or there's no good way of doing that. You've just got to get it done in the safest manner possible. Anyway, so now I've just got to compress the new one, get that back in, and that's the two springs done. And it's going home time. So we'll see you in a month when we find another hour to do something else.
3 days later.
Right, a couple hours free before we go home on a Friday afternoon, so I thought we'd get the SLK back in. But first, we've got some good news. I'm just going to shut that door behind me and we'll get on with it. Right, before we get on with today's video, I'd like to say a quick thank you to today's video sponsor, which is Car Vertical. I'd highly recommend it before you buy any car or motorbike. It's really simple. You go on the Car Vertical website, you put the registration in this case, I'm going to do our famous yellow SLK, and we've got a full report. Car Vertical checks for any theft, damage, mileage rollbacks, outstanding finance. Hopefully this 22-year-old car hasn't got outstanding finance, and it checks it in over 30 countries. It is actually something I always do before I purchase a vehicle. It tells you how many owners the car's had, MOT history is. So in our case, mileage is good. No finance, no damage, 2 owners. It even shows you if it's had registration number plate changes, which this has, which isn't uncommon on vehicles, as we all know. I can see the mileage, where it's steadied out over the years. It looks like it has come off the road in 2022, last MOT. So if you want to check out your car on Car Vertical, or a car that you're thinking of buying or motorbike, hit the link in the description and it'll take you straight to the website with our discount code applied. If not, our discount code is SPR. It's something I'd highly recommend if you're buying a vehicle or a motorbike, 100%. You don't want to hand your money over and find out later on that there's an issue. So thanks very much to Car Vertical for the sponsorship today, and we'll move on with the video. Right, what shall we do first? Oh, there's a screw missing there. 2 screws missing there. We need 2 screws in there, there's 2 screws missing. List of stuff we've got: oil filter, air filter, pollen filter, plugs, belts. There's got to be more to do on this car than that. There's a bit of bodywork underneath, isn't there? I'll tell you what, we'll start with the belts, nice and simple. Genuine belts. We've got one for the supercharger and one which runs the power steering. The outer belt looks like it's been replaced, but the inner one definitely has not. So I'm not going to reuse, I have to take that new one off to replace the other one. So I'm just going to replace both and be done with it. So we'll start with something nice and easy. Nathan's made me a coffee. It is 3:30. It is a Friday as usual. Yeah, let's get on with this, nice and simple. Get myself a torch, my new torch. I'll use my new torch today. Tension it. That does not fit on there. It's a good start. My gloves are too slippy to get this off. It's not coming off. So the belt system on these works really simple. It's got an automatic tensioner. One's an E12, one's an E10, and literally, I remember struggling like this. I can't get my long, easy ratchet into. That's not going to work. That's the both E10s. I can't get enough leverage on that. So the belt system on these works really simple. Has this car got no under trays on it, or have we already took them off?
I don't think
I think
it had
we've
any.
already took them off, haven't we? Is that
No,
right?
they're the SLK ones. This never had any.
No, that's definitely an SLK under tray. Even though that under tray is sticking out halfway, I know that's an SLK under tray, because I'm a sad man. There we go. It's hard to show you on that one, this automatic tensioner. I can't get my long reach. Basically the head and the socket won't fit on, so I've had to use a short straight spanner and a spanner extension. That looks a bit of a rough tool to use on such a big thing on a small spanner, but needs must. The job is done. It's my spanner anyway. Get this belt off. It's probably easier to show you on this next one. So this belt looks like it's been replaced before. Well, if it hasn't, it's in good condition. But let's get this warm one off. So if you come down here, you can see the tensioner, nice and simple. Hold the tension off, take the belt off, and that is all. So that is the warm belt. As you can see, all those cracks in there. That is not ideal, so that is that done. Well, not done, but off. Measure these up first before we refit them. I'd highly recommend drawing a rough diagram on a piece of paper of the routing of the belt before you take it off, so it's easier to refit. In this case, I haven't, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Okay, right, that's the belt on. Just checking it's in all the right grooves. Brand, size and part number facing us. And we can let the tension off, and that is that one done. So repeat that with the outside one. It's actually a really good system, an automatic belt tensioner, because it's constantly applying tension to the belt. One thing that is better in a modern car to an old car, unlike most other things. So this one is the supercharger belt. Same rules apply. Put the belt on, move the tensioner over, and that is this one done. Just not done what I've just told everybody watching to do, to check the belt size before you attempt to fit it. It feels quite tight, this. I'm going to have to take it off and make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tight fit, innit?
That just goes to show how much the belt has stretched, because I'm struggling to get it back on, this new one. Right, so that is both belts on. I'm just checking that they're all sat in the pulleys correctly. Start it up. All looking good, all looking good. So I think the plan is with this car, I don't think I'm going to do bodywork just because of budget. Most times you see budget projects, they just don't end up that way. As in, I am going to do this on a budget. I'm going to be realistic, and I'm literally going to do it as cheap as possible. To start with, we've bought all genuine parts.
Good start.
Good start. I'll tell you what I did save, this battery. I forgot to mention this in the part one. You saw us fit a battery to get the car running, to get it transported back here and drivable on the recovery truck. We didn't drive it, obviously, it had no brakes. And that was an old battery I had lying around in the garage. So that was free.
Nice.
We must have left this car in the yard for 4 or 5 weeks, unlocked, started it up straight away. So that battery is doing its job. Right, what can we do next? Plugs. Should we drain the oil while we do the plugs? Leave the oil draining as long as possible, because this car's been off the road for 3 years. That oil actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, it is discoloured, but it's I've seen worse. Let's get the oil cap off, that's annoying. When you service a car, don't put the oil cap on backwards.
It's a bit tight. Might want a rag.
Oh, that's not been off. Oh, for a long time. The noise of Nathan's wallet opening. Somebody out there has probably got the service history for this vehicle. If anybody recognises this vehicle and has the paperwork for it, I would be so happy to receive it. Anyway, let's get this oil draining, see how much we can do in an hour.
Do you know what I do? Oil filter. From up top, crack it off.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm not thinking straight. I'll tell you what would be a good project. A lot of people put these engines in the 190s. saying that, I'm just talking way out of term. I don't have enough time to get an SLK back on the road that runs and drives, let alone engine swaps and stuff like that. Oh, it's tight. Check power steering fluid while we are at it. Yeah, everything's solid. You can tell this has not had a service for a long time. People always over tighten some plugs and I don't know why. Yeah, it's not the worst oil I've seen in the world. Still got a bit of colour to it. I'd love to know why this car's been off the road. There can't be many yellow SLK. You know what, on the logbook, it says that this car's from Timperley, and I live in Timperley, which is unusual. Am I allowed to say that, or is it like data protection, blah, blah, blah. Not said any names, have I? So whilst that's draining, we'll just show you a little bit of underneath the car. As you can see, there's a bit of corrosion where the under seals come loose. We've got to wire wheel that back and re-Schultz it. The product's called Schultz, bit there. We've started wire wheeling it already. Here you can see we did the 2 rear brake lines, which is off camera. John did them, he's done a really neat job of those. Nice and straight all the way down to the factory joins up here. So we're gonna give the underside a bit of a treatment at the same time. The fuel filter, which is here, which we've got a fuel filter, we could do that. That does not, to me, look like that's ever been replaced. So that is definitely getting replaced, and will be interesting to see what colour the fuel is coming out of that. So yeah, and we did the rear brake hoses just to get you up to speed. But yeah, John's done a really neat job of those brake pipes. He's good at brake pipes, John. He takes real care in them. Right, so we're going to leave the oil draining. In the meantime, we are going to get the spark plug cover off, which clearly says compressor on it, which means this car has a compressor.
Sam's fun facts.
Do you want to know something really sad? My first ever Mercedes was a CLK, a 208 CLK, and I had this engine with, I didn't have a supercharger one, it was the 2 litre non-supercharged.
Don't tell.
Well,
Did you put that cover on?
I was so desperate to have one of them covers and just put it on top. So it like, open the bonnet and be like, yeah, I've got the red cover, I've got the supercharger. I can't remember, I don't think I ever got one, but I was always like eyeing them up, you know, like if a car ever like got scrapped or something, but unfortunately not, but yeah.
That is sad, that.
It's pretty sad that, isn't it? But you know, like when you're young and you're like, oh, I want it. Oh, this all looks in good condition. In fact, those, they're gonna look brand new, aren't they? Because they've been covered up well, but that looks extremely clean in there.
Looks like it's never been off.
See, the good old days, coil packs, wiring loom, all covered up with a proper cover. No signs of corrosion, there's gonna get no moisture in there. I should have been a car designer.
I guess it's like putting an AMG badge on your A180 now, isn't it, really?
Yeah. But apart from, you'd have to open the bonnet to see it.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments are saying to give this to you as like a company vehicle.
Get a respray on it, please. Have it in black or white.
Nathan will only have it if it's been wrapped or resprayed. Look at the condition of them, they are like brand new. I'm nearly tempted to say that they are new, but we just don't know. When I was your age, there was no electric ratchets, my friend. You had to do this on every single one. They're not new. You can see where there's a bit of a burn mark on the porcelain, but they are Mercedes ones, which means it might have been well looked after previously. When you take parts out, serviceable parts, and they're a good brand or genuine, you know that somebody has looked after it or, you know, requested good quality parts. You know, I've just thought, when this car's done and we're going to have to sell it because we need the money, it's got no service history. So it's going to be a hard mover, isn't it? Not many people want to buy a 23-year-old car with no service history. But we could say it's had one full service.
Yeah.
If anyone's in a situation like this, you know, the car's going to be reasonably priced because you've got no history. But I mean, we can tell by that oil that oil has clearly been changed. The plugs have clearly been changed. They are due for replacement. It's just little signs like that you need to look out for. Obviously, if you do your car vertical check, You can check that the mileage is good and stuff like that. So these plugs are actually a platinum tip. I don't know if you can tell on there. You do want to check the gaps on these, but you don't really want to put a feeler gauge in because you don't want to damage that tip, but you do want to have a good visual check of them all. Quite pleased that this is going quite well. Screw them all in by hand. Spark plug setting is 28 Newton meters. Not setting a good example here, am I? I've not got my towel on the front. Famous towels. Get a few comments about the towels. I don't like wing covers because they're not really washable. A lot of dust and grit sticks to them, whereas a towel is nice and soft. It's not going to damage the car, and we actually wash them on a weekly basis. And you can cover it up nice. It looks like a doctor's performing surgery. We have one there, one there, one there. Torque wrench. Yeah, so I think we'll make this car mechanically okay. I think that's the plan with it. I had a look at the figures before, and it's like impossible to make money out of these things.
So the budget car has gone wrong then.
It's our labour that's a problem to accommodate for, isn't it? Car and parts, you'd go, oh, that's all right, but then
you've got to do the
we've
work.
spent a month fixing it.
Taking up room in the car park.
Yeah. As always, special coil pack grease in the coil packs. I bet our channel's now getting repetitive. It's not intentional. We're just filming what we can when we can. Oh, I remember servicing these day in and day out. When I was your age, Nathan, it was a joy compared to these new ones. If it wasn't for the corrosion, well, our country creating corrosion.
They last a lot longer in other countries, don't they?
Yeah, you see them in other countries, and they're expensive. They're not £375. This car's not £375 in Australia. It's probably £3,750. I have a feeling everything I've just said about good quality parts is not to be on the filter. When you take parts out, serviceable parts, and they're a good brand or genuine, you know that somebody has looked after it or, you know, requested good quality parts. Yeah, that is literally a non-branded filter. NF03074. If Reese is having a fight with the hand towel. It's not got a brand on it. Not ideal. It's budget. Genuine oil filter, which, if I'm not mistaken, these particular ones are made by Hengst. Yes, it is. Put a bit of grease on here. So obviously, colour comparison, brand new filter, worn old filter. Right, oil filter back in. Oh no, we said we wanted to check power steering fluid. It needs a top up, so leave that cover off for now to remind us. I'm going to check the specification of that because I'm not 100% sure. Oil, we're going to put 1040s oil in this because it's quite an old car. They did used to run on 1040s oil. It's not going to do it any harm, slightly thicker for an older engine. That's it. I'm going to put the sump plug in now, which is a bit boring, so I won't film that. Get some oil in it, start it up. So 1040s oil, as we explained, total energize, MB spec 229.3, which is the older spec for these models. Definitely not going to do any harm. Right, total capacity of this engine is 5.5 litres. We put 5 litres in, start it up, make sure we've got no misfires. I think that's about it for today. Before I forget, I'm going to top up that power steering oil. Purring. If you ever want to know what oil filter is, what brand of oil filter is installed in your Mercedes, top tip. If you have a look on your filter housing, it does tell you. As you can see there, it says Hengst. Sounds all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
I wonder if they do yellow duct tape to just cover that hole. We're not going to be doing bodywork. If I put wings on this and paint, and it's just going to be ridiculous. And another query I've got is the tyres look massive to me, especially the backs. Well, I need to make sure nobody's put tyres on it that are too big. I mean, it's going to be very comfortable, but when the car's down on the ground, the tyre thickness just looks way too much. Is that just me, or does that look ridiculous? It's a 16-inch.
It looks good.
It looks good. I don't know about that. It's like there's more tyre than wheel. 225, 55, 16. I wonder if Autodata will tell us. Tyres. 225, 50, 16. And 205, 55, 16. Ah, so it has got the wrong tyres on it. So I'm actually right. How sad is that? That I've spotted that a 22, 23-year-old SLK has got the wrong tyres on it. Because we need 4 tyres, so I'm going to put the right ones on it, obviously. Yeah, 205, 55 again, and it should be a 50. What you can see there, it just looks massive. So anyway, my thought was right. I've been staring at it in the car park thinking that. Power steering fluid. My suspicions with that were correct. It is not the more modern type green stuff. It is this old and gold stuff, so we'll top that up. In fact, should we just suck it all out? Just suck it all out and pour fresh in. Sucked as much fluid as we can out of the power steering reservoir. It's a good while you're in there. Why not? I've got loads of this old fluid knocking around, so we may as well give it a flush. Well, people are going to say it's not a flush. It's all in the rack, it's all in the pipes, but it's better than nothing. We're on a budget.
Oh, spilling it everywhere.
It's all right, it's my car. Yeah, nice clean fluid now. Turn this off so you can hear me better. So, just check the oil level again. Oil level's spot on. So I think that's it for today. I'm going to put some grease on these rubber bump stops because it'll make that cover come on and off tons better for the next person. Belts, oil, plugs. I think that's it for today. We could quickly change the air filter. 2-minute job. Just think of some of the air filters that you replaced today, how hard they are, and watch how simple this is. One out. Wicks filters. Wicks have been going a long time. That definitely needs replacing. Genuine Mercedes. I think this genuine filter was about 15 quid. A lot of the times, especially on these older ones, guys, if you can get genuine, go for it because the prices are very, very similar to aftermarket. So you may as well have the genuine if possible. 1, 2.
The other side, innit?
Job done. So I think that's it for today. We shall see you. And we've got some more time to work on the yellow SLK.
Which it won't be next week.
Yeah. Right, everybody. That is the end of this video. I've been looking at the footage and we was going to do this in one part, but this video is way over an hour long. So we're going to cut it in half. So I feel like I've interrupted the video a little bit. It was like an hour 15, an hour 20 minutes, which is way too long. Bad news, this is the end of the video. Good news is I am going to get the second half of the video ready for next week. So make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell button because that will be part 3. This video is part 2. Over an hour's way too long. So yeah, we're splitting it up. So sorry if I've come across as like I've just interrupted the video, but yeah, I'm sat in the car on my laptop and yeah, it's way too long. That's how YouTube goes. So thanks very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell button. I know I've already said this before, but there's going to be a video out next Wednesday, which will be part 3 to the yellow SLK. So yeah, I'll see you next week.